Again, tough one, as I said after the game, out that area. I still don't know what that area was. I still got nightmares from the game and nightmares from where we had to do that presser. That was not Division I, but I don't know if you guys could even hear me. But that was a tough game to swallow. And I think everybody would like to point and say, it's this play or that play, but there's plays all over the field. And as a coach, you go back and watch the tape and you see even more and more and more of just like, wow, we really did give it away. And again, we can point to the penalties. We can point to, a slide. We can point to some, just crappy coverage. In that, last 40 seconds, I guess, in the second 2 minute that our defense was involved in, that, you didn't want to be involved in on a short field again, which puts the defense in a rough spot. But with a 21-yard penalty and a 32-yard punt, instead of starting at the 50, they could have started at the -21 and put the numbers together, which I have. So it was just a rough night. I mean, you take the first, second, third quarter out of it. Just really what happened that fourth quarter. Just not something I've been accustomed to. Usually at Pitt we finish, and again our guys gave great effort. There was no lack of effort out there. It was just I don't know if it was focus or what, but we just didn't play like we should play, not like a Pitt football team. Continue to be disappointed in the way we rush, stop the rush, stop the run. I reminded our defense last week. In the last 3 years, I guess, we've been spoiled. We've been number 1 in the ACC in rushing, the top 10 in rushing defense, and we're at 6 right now, I believe. But that's like a far, far, difference from what we've been at, and that's, I guess, some of the frustrations I have defensively. Then offensively, we weren't two-dimensional. I wish we rushed for more than what we rushed for, but throw for 300 yards. We just had drive killers that we could rush for 200 if we blocked better and get to the right guy and do the right thing. And there's times we're not doing that, which is stop and runs. It's stop and runs on 4th and 1. But the drive killers are whether it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 4, you don't get it, or you don't block the right guy on a certain run play. It doesn't get the run game going. So those are some of the frustrations, really, both having to do with the run game, not the pass game. That's kind of where it is. But just lack consistency across the board. Lack consistency in our punting. We'll point to that. I mean, there's plays all over the place, and not just the slide or the penalties. It's like they're all over the place. It's not just, and again, that's why it's a team game. That's why it's played 4 quarters. Not we just go play the last 2 minutes of the game and see who wins. It's all over the place the entire game. That we got to continue to get better, and I think we are getting better. But we certainly didn't show it maybe Saturday. Questions?
Pat, do you think maybe the slide rule should be reviewed, considering that the Florida State game, Jordan Travis was farther from the first-time marker than Christian was, and they gave him the first time?
I think so. I mean, first of all, the slide rule is to protect the quarterback. Okay, protect the quarterback's trying to protect himself. It's not for an official to determine when he started to slide and all that stuff. And it would have not been nice if the officials would go and look in the little TV there and go, okay, let's be sensible here. The kid was being smart. He wanted to stay in bounds. So I give that, and wish he'd take a couple more steps or whatever. And, but it is what it is, and to me, it's still a first down. But it's over.
You said you felt like you made a rookie mistake in not diving for it. Did you look back, when you look back at it, do you think that it was just kind of like, hey, that's what most quarterbacks would do?
That's what most quarterbacks would do. And talking to, again, I'm no quarterback guru. And Coach C. brought up a good point. I said, can you just dive forward instead of backward? That's when fumbles happen. I was like, well, you're probably right. I mean, the other thing would have been worse is if diving forward and fumbles on the ground. So you see most quarterbacks are going to slide feet first. Bostic, true or false, Bostic? He never ran that far. He couldn't get to the sticks, so it didn't matter. But there's just like I said, there's different things, and he was being smart. He did the way he was supposed to be. He thought he was clearly beyond the line, and it looked like he was. So just leave it as it is. There's a lot of other plays out there.
Pat, you guys had 13 penalties for 100 yards, but now beyond just this game, you guys have the most penalties and the most penalty yards in the ACC. What do you guys have to do as coaches and and your players to fix that?
Sometimes you feel hated on, okay, and I don't share these with you. I don't share these with you weekly about what goes into the ACC office, and I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to talk about what comes back, but sometimes you feel like just needs to be called both ways, and sometimes you feel like it's not as a coach, but I'll just talk about our penalties. You know, I brought a sheet in here just because we talk about it all the time. Defensively, we had 4 aggressive penalties and 2 selfish. You know, you guys know what we call selfish penalties when it's just like, you know, about, you know, it's just not good selfish. You know, the 2 by, you know, Donovan, who's apologized 10 times to me since the end of the game. He's crying after the game. I mean, he didn't mean to do it. He's, you know, just pulling a guy off the pile. It was a penalty, what he did. You know, I don't know if the second one was real. It looked like, you know, someone, you know, threw a shoulder into him, but like, I'm not the official. You know, players play, coaches coach, and officials officiate. We have 3 defensive holdings, which, again, to me, it's a go both ways. I just, you know, I don't know how to officiate it. I don't know how to coach anymore, I guess. And we had a face mask. Offensively, we had 5 false starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 false starts. Again, one is, you know, we weren't going to run a play on 4th down and 5. Okay. But a receiver covered up the tight end has hand down. Not worried about that one. That one, you can throw that out. And the penalty yards. We're going to punt it. We're taking a delay game anyway. We're going to try to get them to jump off sides. You know, we had, you know, 3 offensive tackles go off sides. 2 young guys just gotta be better there. And then we have, you know, a quarterback's got to wait for a receiver to get set up, you know, to line up on a quick. We call it, you know, I won't tell you what it's called, but we come out of the quick, get lined up and run the play. You know, it's not really the quarterback not letting the receiver get lined up fast enough. And then you know, we took a delay game on defense to punt the ball, or on punt, just to back it up. You know, we're going to snap it. Hey, we ate up 25, 30 seconds off the clock that play. We had, you know, a guy in a new position lined up off the line of scrimmage on our field goal team. So they're unforced, they're unfortunate, and then there's some, you know, aggressive ones, which we're going to be aggressive. You know, I've just never seen so many of them. So I don't know what else to tell you.
How do you coach your players to fight through, to stay focused? If that's the case, you feel like you're not getting both ways in those calls. How do you coach them to stay focused despite those moments?
Well, I think that's what they've done. I mean, you know, and again, you can't get emotional like Donovan did. It's an emotional game, and you know, he's trying to protect MJ. Like, you know, so I just stay away. But besides the emotional one there, one play, which cost us 21 yards. You know, you just got to keep your cool and play ball. You know, I don't think our guys get emotional when you know, it happens to them. I mean, you go back and watch AJ Woods. I mean, you know, he's on there. It's a tiny little tug, and the guy is jamming. And supposedly, when you lock your arm out, it's supposed to be called as offense pass interference, but it doesn't get called. So I don't know, you know. But if someone's pushing me off, I'm grabbing on to, you know, for dear life too. So, and you know.
Does it bother you that all this is happening in the 7th game of the season?
It bothers me when it happens in the first game and the 7th game. It'll bother me even more because the last time I was in Notre Dame, it happened in the whatever game, you know, on a post in the middle field. So it bothers me every game.
You figure by now that some of these penalties.
You hope so, but every game's a different game on the road, and you know, different stuff is happening to you. People are stemming. I mean, you know, they got a guy clapping on the you know, we're trying to punt the ball. We clap. Cadence, it's supposed to be a violation. We'll go back to watch their, you know, their linebacker 45 is clapping. There's no call. You know, I don't know why, but just, you know, luck of the draw, I guess.
Overall, how would you evaluate Christian's performance, slide aside?
Christian, I thought, played a pretty solid game. I mean, he took what the defense was giving him. He made some nice throws. You know, he had a couple where, you know, we'd say, you know, mentally, don't go there, go there. A couple of those, which I don't know if a quarterback's ever gone through a game and had ones where he didn't have a couple of those. But I think, you know, he got better from the first game to the second game. I mean, he started off, I don't know what it was, 7 for 7 or 8 for 8 or whatever it was. I mean, he was on fire. You know, they changed some stuff up, but you know, he made plays when he needed to. And again, we got to convert more first downs. I mean, I think we had 3 and outs this past weekend. The week before, does anybody remember how many we had? 7. I remember. So, you know, when you look at stuff like that, we're moving. You know, we won the time possession the week before. We didn't. We got, you know, crushed with it because you're going 3 and out 7 times. You're not going to. You're going to struggle that way. So they're getting better little by little. And you like to eliminate. You know, it's penalties. It's you know, a messed up coverage. You know, not executed properly. It's, you know, and not blocking the run game. And there's, like I said, there's stuff everywhere. I'm, you know, sitting there trying to plug holes everywhere, and that's kind of where we are right now at this point.
And obviously, you'll be challenged by Notre Dame. What can you do defensively? Is it personnel changes or to improve that rush game quickly?
maybe, we're, looking at everything, but, every offense gives you a little bit different. And again, give Wade credit, they did some different things, that we really didn't prepare for. They lined up in the pistol more than we've seen them. New quarterback, they did some things different that we didn't practice as much for. We practiced a little bit more of other things that, they didn't do when we didn't know who the quarterback was gonna be. Didn't really know there was an even issue, with their starting quarterback. So prepared for him, and then you had really a totally different guy in there. And again, they switched the run game up a little bit, but, we gotta execute. And again, we haven't forgot how to coach defense and how to stop the run. Okay, it's what we do. It's like I said, we gotta coach better, we gotta get it out of them, and they gotta learn better and execute better. And that's what it comes down to.
Jake came in that second half, it seemed like he was playing some guard, Terrence still at center. What do you like about that order in the offense?
We'll look at it. I mean, Jake was back and Blake was back. So we had really 4 guards that played for us, and just trying to find the best combination now. I think they're all back, healthy, or at least close to being healthy right now. So I can't tell you I like anything yet, but we'll keep looking.
From what you've seen of Sam Hartman.
Hey, we
so far.
protected the quarterback too. How many sacks did we give up?
0.
0. That's like, that's big time.
From what you've seen from Sam Hartman this year, how has he evolved as a passer since the last time you saw him, which I believe was the ACC championship in 21?
Yeah, obviously totally different offense. He's in a pro style offense. He's actually huddling up, taking snaps under center. So you've seen him progress to more of a, if he's gonna play in the NFL, it's gonna have to be in that type of offense, not what they're doing at Wake Forest. So, I think he's probably enjoyed it, just because, I think it's every, childhood kid's dream to play in the National Football League, and he's gonna have an opportunity just by being able to, make run checks, sit underneath the center, and do all the things that they ask him to do there. I think he'll have obviously a better opportunity, in that atmosphere and circumstances. So, he throws the ball well. I mean, he's a calm guy. He can run. He can scramble. He's still a great athlete. So you don't see anything abnormal there. Again, we haven't really talked Notre Dame, so we'll get into Notre Dame. Obviously, Marcus Freeman's done an outstanding job here. I think in his second season, and they got a talented team. When you put the tape on, you watch those. Shiny gold helmets, when they fly around, they look good. Those probably as good a looking team you're gonna walk out on game day and see. And they play fast. All the receivers look like tight ends. They wear 80s numbers too, which disguise them. You're not sure how many tight ends. They play with 4 tight ends at times in formations, and they'll go all the way to play with 4 wideouts. Tailbacks are athletic, and you got Hartman. And defensively, Al Gould's running the defense. You guys know Al from back in Miami. Was in the league for a while. Great coach has done a great job with their defense. When you get 4 down, they're all physical, they're all fast. I can't sit there and focus on one guy because there's 11 of them. They're as talented, a football team as you're going to face out there. So we'll have our hands full. Have a lot of guys on that staff that I know. Starting with Mike Mickens, coaching the corner. You guys saw him. So it'd be a nice little reunion there. Max Bua, one of our linebackers, is there on that staff as well. And Gino Gaduli, old Cincinnati quarterback coach. So there's some familiarity with their staff as well, and it'll be a great challenge for our guys to go to South Bend. I think they're fired up last night to close the chapter and move on.
You've got Sibo and Rodney as co-starters on the depth chart. What will be that decision?
Sibo's been playing well the last couple of weeks, and again, he's also helping lead our football team as far as just being a leader. I think he stepped up with the absence of the Matt Gonsalves. He's become a really, kind of got some natural leadership skills to him. Our guys have, really bought into, what he's all about. He plays his tail off. I mean, he'll be on any special team, so he's played hard. Rodney didn't start, but Rodney, he's good too. We like them both. We go with your hot hand, and I think even late in the game, Coach Powell tried to put Rodney in the game, and he's like, Coach, he's hot, let him go. It was kind of like, oh, I was kind of shocked by that. Kind of an unselfish move by him, but I would have liked to have got him more snaps the other day, because I think he's special as well. So we're going to play the hot guy, and maybe Rodney rushes for 150 this week.
It seems like it's been favoring SEMO for a few weeks, though. It's just been a hot hand for the last 3 or 4 games.
I mean, it's like, anybody in the country. I mean, Notre Dame plays 4 tailbacks. I mean, they played 4 of them, and they all got 20-some plus snaps at tailback, and they got 2 really that are getting the majority of them, And, I don't think we're different anyway. You wanna get your tailbacks reps, you wanna make them all feel comfortable, they all can be, they're all ball players. You never know but if you have one tailback that's getting 200 snaps and the other guy gets 3, and all of a sudden the first guy gets hurt, you got this guy that never rushed the ball before, we won't have that problem. So I think that, it's a natural thing, but you're gonna play who's hot, who's blocking well, and who you feel comfortable with, based on, the flow of the game.
Has SIBO shown you and your staff the stuff that you expected out of him when you were looking at him out in the portal last year? Or has he grown more?
He's gotten better. I mean, I think, he's obviously grown up a lot on and off the field. But yeah, he's doing what we thought he could do. I mean, but he had a motor last year, so I can't, he understands the offense more now. I think he's more comfortable, just like anybody would be in their second year of a new offense. It's totally different from what they were doing at the other place. So, he's done a nice job. I'm impressed. And like I said, you're never gonna question that guy's effort. He's got a motor, as good a motor as anybody on our football team.
Maybe I'm wrong, if Lovelace and Lewis didn't make the trip, the linebackers,
Yeah.
can you tell us why?
Banged up. Not out for the year. Who else did you say? Kyle Lewis?
Was Lewis there?
Lewis was not there. And then, we lost Solomon Shields in the first half. And I tell you what, Jordan Bass for a freshman, in base defense, and, and I didn't really realize, when you think about how, your third down package, we weren't very good on third down, and poor Jordan Bass is starting on that team too. I didn't, take into account the effect there, but, we had a lot of walkthroughs in fall camp. There wasn't one walkthrough that, Jordan Bass spent in third down at all, because it's like, that's way too much. Let's just get you to be, good with your base defense. But Jordan Bass played well. I was impressed with him for his first game. He's only gonna get better. We gotta get Miles going this week as well, I think. But Jordan Bass, for playing 4 plays last week on defense, and then having 51 plays on defense, it's way too many, but that's kind of that was what we were under. And it cost us at the end of the game too. It wasn't necessarily his fault. But I would have hoped we would have adjusted a little bit better than what we did. But play with young guys, sometimes they're not gonna be perfect. They're not even close to perfect. Our guys that played for 4 or 5 years aren't perfect. But I was impressed with the way Jordan Bass played, pulled the trigger, and made plays.
Can Jordan and Rasheed kind of expect some more playing time moving forward?
There's no question about it. Jordan's gonna get more playing time, period. It's only gonna keep getting better. And, just based on injuries, you gotta get Miles going to go.
Pat, back on Christian, I think he's 10 of 14 for over 130 yards and a touchdown on third downs. His ability to stretch the field with his arm seemed to give you guys extra boost in your passing game. Has his success maybe forced you guys to reevaluate different concepts or different things that you might call with more frequency to open that up more and give your receivers more chances?
No question about it. You say that, our receivers are catching the ball well too. I mean, they're catching the football. There's no question about it. We're gonna get, but again, we're gonna take what Notre Dame's gonna give you, or, the next opponent after that's gonna give you. But, we got confidence that, that he can throw the ball, and he's getting it out quick, and like I said, he's gonna keep getting better every week, I think.
Chris referenced third downs. Christian played really well. There were a couple of long third downs that he converted on. What makes him able to, perform in those situations where there's a lot of pressure?
That's what quarterbacks are supposed to do, right? They all have to do that, but, he's done a good job going through his progressions and knowing where to go based on the coverage. And, that's the name of the game is, looking over here, okay, they got that, boom, and coming back here, he's able to come back to, his second or third read, and he's done a nice job.
How about, 1 or 2 more? Anyone else?
Did you notice the team's mood any different?
Grumpy?
Grumpy?
Yeah, grumpy, kind of like I was grumpy yesterday. It's a 24-hour grump, If you can't be grumpy for 24 hours and, you got problems. But nobody's happy. That's what we talked about last night. There's nobody happy. I feel bad for you guys. Nobody wants to go through it. Nobody wants to go through it like we had to take it. I think it's easier to get beat by 25 points than to take that one on the end when you think you had a chance. But again, and you still didn't play good. Like, I still look at it and go, the end of the game doesn't even matter. I'm still pissed about the first quarter and the second quarter and third quarter with the things we didn't do. And again, it comes down to execution. It's a game of execution, and it comes down to consistency. You can't show me you can do it really good here, and then you can't do it here. That drives me nuts.
Okay. That said, do you have anything to say about your conversation with the ACC people?
Terry.
You know, with that, we'll move to Chris Carter. He's got the last one.
Your
In
pass,
case your question don't count. Not yet, and I won't share it with you anyway.
you guys' pass rush up front, it wasn't able to get home at late in the game. What has to be better, especially for your down guys? 'Cause AJ Woods was the guy that seemed to get the most pressure for you.
Yeah, great question, great question. I mean, I think AJ Woods had 3 sacks. Okay, so, we're not who we were last year or the year before. We know we lost some dudes up there. I think Sammy O's coming on, but, our details up there as well. I know Coach Partridge is working on it, but, our stunts and, I kind of started talking about it a little bit earlier, Bass was in there running some stunts and he's getting smushed out of there. I mean, he looked like those wagons on wheels there, playing an A gap or B gap. And again, it really wasn't fair to him. I mean, he's not done many of those. I'm just shocked he got near where he was supposed to be. Again, we should have done a better job of adjusting that, to be honest with you. So we will the next time, I guarantee you that. But you have regrets as coaches too. That's a coaching thing that we should have fixed. But when you look at it, we got to be better. Our stunts just don't look as clean. We're not, we just got to clean things up, detail with a bunch of guys that maybe haven't done a bunch of. We're young up front. You look at the guys, Sammy, Jimmy. Scott is in there on that last series playing left end. We had Dayon at nose, just trying to get more speed on the field, and I'm trying to think of Sammy, Jimmy, and Dayon were the 3 guys in on that last series. So we got to be better with our pass rush and contain the quarterback too. Because in that last series, I mean, look, first and second down were good in the last series. Third down, it's bad coverage. Won't get into it, and then the 4th and 1, bad coverage. Won't get into it, and then they got a first down goal. And again, we don't get a reroute on the tight end. We kind of hang out, McIntyre, and they throw a touchdown pass. So name of the game.
Coach, thank you very much.